This is going to be part 2 of the video answer key for 6-5. We are starting with problem number 18. The meal tax at a restaurant is 5 5/10%. What's the meal tax on a dinner that costs $24? So we're going to take that 5 5/10%. We're going to change that to a decimal. This is an error alert here. Remember that 50% is 5/10. So 5%, don't let that decimal bother you. 5% is one more place value over. You're going to take 24 in your calculator and you're going to multiply that by 55 thousandths. One and 32 hundredths. This answer would not receive full credit. Why? Because we have a word problem going on. We need a label. It is $1.32. An electric store donated a percentage of every sale to charity. The total sales, so that's like the denominator. If this was a test, that would be if you got 100% of which the store donated this. So that's the part. What percent was donated to charity? So I talk a lot about grades. If this was the grade, 100% would be 7,150 out of 7,150. So if they donated 100%, they would have donated it all. But they donated $429 out of 7,150, and that's going to equal X. There's my equation. I'm going to put into my calculator 429 divided by 7,150. And that's going to give me 0.06 equals X. Now that would not receive full credit. Why? Because it says right here what percent, and I'm going to convert that into a percent of 6% was donated maybe to charity. Okay, moving on. Number 20. So this is using the circle graph over here. Blue, green, and red cars. There's 180 cars in the parking lot. If you don't read this part, this doesn't make any sense. You have to understand what 100% of the cars are. And 100% is 180 out of 180. Right? Those 180 cars have been broken into 3 pieces. How many blue cars? So blue cars corresponds here with 45%. 45% is not the correct answer. It didn't say what's the percent of blue cars. That's kind of an elementary school question because that's just reading the circle graph. Now you have to calculate 45% of 180. So we know to change that into the decimal. We're going to multiply by 180. Today is a gorgeous day and I have my windows open so you can hear the road that's right next to my house. We've got 45 hundredths times 180 cars, giving me 81 cars. Does that make sense? Well, 45% is a little bit less than 50%. 50% would be half, which would be 90. And this is a little bit less than 90. How many red cars are there? Red cars are right here. 30% is the wrong answer. Why is that the wrong answer? Because it's not asking me for the percent. So we have to find of 180. So I'm going to put into my calculator 3/10 times 180 times 180, 54 cars. All right, reasoning. There are 27 more green cars than black cars. All right, so this is a combo. Interesting. What percent of cars in the parking lot are green? What percent are black? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out how many cars are in this. Now, I could do that one of 2 ways. I could say what's 25% of 180, or I could add up my first 2 results and subtract those from 180. I'm going to go with this because it's one step. 25% times 180, 25 hundredths times 180 gives me 45 cars. Now, so that's 45 green and black. So there's 27 more green cars than black cars. So if black cars is B, green cars would be B plus 27. And those 2 numbers together equal 45. Ooh, this is really, really tricky. So if I subtract 45, thank you, Kiki, that's my dog, minus 27, I get 18. So B plus B should be 18, which means there should be 9 black cars and 36 green cars. So now I have to go back and do what percentage of the cars in the whole parking lot. So that would be 9 out of 180. So 9 divided by 180 is 5%. So 5% are black cars. And then the second part of that would be 36 out of 180, which is 2/10 or 20%. So I'm running out of room here. 20% are green cars. I'm cramming that in there. I would be saying get out another piece of paper. So this is really higher order thinking here, guys. You're not going to see something that's that hard on the quiz and test, but I do think you're capable of kind of saying, taking this, and this is logic. The number of green cars is based on the number of black cars. And this is absolutely a preview of what you're going to see in 7th grade. So understanding that kind of how to build that question is important. Let's go to the next page. Home stretch, guys. I am using my Post-it notes here to hold this down because it's a beautiful day and it's windy. Next. The bank contains pennies, dimes, nickels, and quarters. There are 4 more nickels than pennies. How much money does the bank contain? Of the 50 coins, you need to know how many coins there are. 10% are pennies. Well, that's easy. 10% of 50 is 5. So there's 5 pennies. We know that. Well, here, there's 4 more nickels than pennies. So what I did was I took this information to get 5 pennies. There's 4 more nickels than pennies. So if there's 5 pennies, there's 9 nickels. How do you spell nickels? Nickels. And then finally, there's pennies, nickels, and then there's dimes. So how do I figure it? Well, it says 42% are dimes. So 42% of 50 coins. I'm going to take my calculator. I'm going to put in, 42 hundredths times 50, 21. So there's 21 dimes. Now I'm going to double check. Does 5 plus 9 plus 21 equal 50? I'm not sure about that. It only equals 35 coins. Oh, wait, there's quarters. Oopsie. Okay, so the rest must be quarters. So 5 plus 9 plus 21 is 35 coins, and 50 minus 35. So I added up how many pennies, how many nickels, and how many dimes. I got 35 coins. I'm going to subtract that from 50 and get 15 quarters. Now you feel like you've done all this work and you must be finished. This is really a logic puzzle. You have to use the percents to find dimes and pennies. You have to use the words to find nickels. And then you have to know to add these numbers and subtract them from the whole to find quarters. Super tricky, but you're not done yet because it doesn't care in the end how many of each type of money there are. It wants to know how much money you have. So 5 pennies is 5 cents. 9 nickels is not 90 cents. It's 45 cents. Plus 21 dimes, which is $2.10, plus, oh boy, 15 quarters is 25 cents times 15, $3.75. Now I have my calculator. I am going to add 5 cents plus 45 cents plus $2.10 plus $3.75. $6.35. Woo! That is a tough question. I love it. And it's really kind of great math and working with money. How can you use the double number line to find what percent of 450 is 270? Well, this is like breaking it up into pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So I'm breaking 450 into 5 equal pieces. 450 divided by 5 will give me 90 for each piece. So this is 90, 180, 90 times 3 is going to be 270, 360. And then 100's been broken into 5 equal pieces, and 100 divided by 5 is 20, 40, 60, 80. So they want to know this answer right here, which is 60%. Now, my work really is my demonstration because it says how can you use the double number line. If I've labeled the double number line, I've shown enough work here in order to answer the question. So, and my talk through is you're dividing 450 into 5 equal pieces and 100 into 5 equal pieces, and that's where they overlap. A movie complex is showing the same movie in 3 theaters. In theater A, 112 of the 160 seats are filled. In theater B, 84 are filled and 56 are empty. And in theater C, 63 of the 180 seats are empty. Which theater has the greatest percent of its seats filled? This is a tricky question because they give you different pieces of the information. So seats filled. Theater A, we know how many seats are filled. It'd be 112 out of 160. I'm going to take my calculator, do 112 divided by 160, which is 7/10, where 70% are filled. B is much trickier than that because they don't give you the total. They give you the filled and the empty, which we can use to figure out 84 are filled out of how many? It's not out of 56. That'd be over 100%. So my calculator have to do 84 plus 56 and get 140 total in that theater. And I'm taking 84 divided by 140. Thank goodness for calculators, which is going to be 60% filled. Last one, it says 63 of the 180 seats are empty. So in C, I know that there's 180 seats. If 63 are empty, it's 180 minus 63 will give us 117. Now I can do 117 divided by 180 and get 65% filled. Which theater has the greatest percent of its seats filled? That would be theater A. Number 26. Thomas has an album that holds 600 baseball cards. Each page of the album holds 6 cards. If 45% of the album is empty, how many pages are filled with baseball cards? Wow. Okay, so it holds 600 cards at 6 per page, which would mean 600 divided by 6 would be 100 pages. 45% of the album is empty. So what number divided by 100 will give me 45%? Well, that's not too bad. That's 45. So 45 pages are empty. How many are filled? Well, that would be 100 minus 45. 100 minus 45 is 55 pages should be empty. Oh, I'm sorry, are filled. My fault. I already found how many are empty. Miguel collected aluminum cans for recycling. He collected a total of 150 cans. How many cans were not soda cans? So 58% were soda cans, and the total was 150. So what number out of 150 would give me 58%? This is going back to that emphasis on writing the equation. This is tougher. This is where we have to go back to our equation solving. So here, if we're dividing, what we want to do to undo division is to use its inverse operation here. So we're going to multiply both sides by 150, which would give us plain old 1x. And we're going to take 58 hundredths times 150. We're going to get 87. 87 cans were soda cans. And that's not what they want. They want not soda cans. Boy, they really are making you read. So 150 minus 87 would give me 63 cans were not soda cans. It's again logic. All right, last two. Ava's aquarium is 95% filled with water, and it holds 112 gallons of water. Select the remaining number of gallons of water needed. So I'm gonna, this is 100%. I know that's not gonna be true. If it's 95% filled, it only needs a little bit more water. I'm willing to bet it's gonna be one of these two because this is a lot. This is over 50% here. I'm betting it's not gonna be that one. So what is 95%? I'm gonna change that to a decimal times the total. 95 times 1,120. So it's been filled to one, oops, I lost my answer. 1,064 gallons, which means this is how much it's filled. So I need to take 1,120 and subtract 1,064 from it. Oh boy. That's not right, Roner. I need to go back. I need to go 1,120 minus 1,064, meaning that it needs 56 more gallons, and that happens to be this. So first I estimated, and then I found my answer, and hopefully that answer is here, confirming that my answer is correct. The students set a goal of collecting 900 cans for the can drive. The number of cans they've collected so far is 82%. So I want to do 900 times 82% to figure out how many they've currently found. They have collected that. So 900 times 82%, they've collected 738. Now this is called the distractor. This is what they've collected. That's not what they're looking for in this question. They're saying how many more. So this is not the answer. And in all honesty, I'm betting it's not going to be this either, because if they've collected 82%, they only need 18 more percent. It's going to be a much smaller number. I bet you it's going to be one of these two. I bet you it's not that one. So if they have 900 they want and they've collected 738, I'm just going to use straight up subtraction and find that they need 162 more. And there it is.